I was thinking about, why all the buzz? Why did it turn into all these things? Why did just me sitting behind my computer in a mess of crumpled wrapping paper turn into, a brand, for lack of a better word? And I believe that in almost anything we do, it's about being genuine. I think people crave genuine. They just do. They crave a connection. It's just like with Kristen talking, I could feel it in the room. We connect in those moments, and it's how we were made to be that way. We were made to create connection with those around us. We were made to connect to God. It's just who we are. And so I fully believe that that's sort of why, things turned out the way that they did. I think I was put here to tell stories and just to be real, because if you go on the blog, by the way, it's not all happy and pretty and sunshine and roses, and there's a lot of mess, and there's even like a really embarrassing chicken soup story on there. So you will find a little bit of everything, and I think that we all need that. We want real in our lives, and it's the same thing. I don't know, probably it would be the next slide, but people crave genuine in our homes as well. They do. They don't just want it to feel beautiful. They want it to feel like it's your home, and when they walk in, you are welcoming them into your world. It's just like just today, I can feel how at home you all are here, and that's not just because it's a pretty place. That's about an attitude. That's about the way in which you're welcomed. And it's the same with whatever home you go into. So I think it's more important, and this is sort of my philosophy at the store and with the folks I work with. Even in design projects, clients, it's got to feel like yours. It's yours, not mine. So if I'm coming in and doing design work for people, I don't get to make the final calls, because it's not my home, it's not my place. And so it is important to me what paint color is on the wall. Now, is that the most important thing in life? Absolutely not. But it is nice to create a place where your family, where you can rest, and you want to be home at the end of the day, and you want to feel home, you want to feel calm, and like you've escaped from the busyness of life. So, I think as we kind of get ready for the holiday season, and I would say this would be the next slide. I don't know, I don't have to memorize it, but I'm used to clicking them myself, so this is new for me. But I think, it's funny, my mom especially, because I told her when we sat down this morning, I said, I'm going to talk about you just a little bit. I didn't know she was going to be here, and she said, oh no. So nothing embarrassing, but as I've been getting ready for the holidays, here it is again, it's already here. I remember growing up, this woman does Christmas like no other human I've ever seen. I mean, it's like you walk inside and there was a homemade gingerbread house, and I mean like homemade dough and everything, gingerbread house, and there were, presents, everywhere, and I don't know, two trees. There was don't cry now, don't do that. There was a casual tree in the living room with all our colored lights, and then a silver tree in the formal living room, and I mean, it's just decked out. And I look back, and by the way, the house always smelled like cookies somehow. I mean, just like cookies for the whole month of December. So it was a magical time for me. Now if you come to my home now during Christmas, I mean, I try really hard, but it is just it's nothing like that. I'm working, so I think that has a little something to do with it. But nonetheless, I don't do Christmas quite the way that she can. And I'm sure there are plenty of you out there that do it the same way she does. And I think, and that's all wonderful, because I don't ever look back and remember stress with that Christmas. I don't remember her being worn out. And I think that's the whole point. However you do it, however your holiday looks, it should feel enjoyable. So for me, that means I don't go to all the and I literally am a designer, a home decor blogger, and I write, there's a book right here with Christmas tips in it. So I still, though, it's kind of like that cobbler in the shoes thing. You can't do everything. Nobody can. And so, I would encourage you, use small things around you. For me, she'll come in to the house and she'll just be like, so I see the snow village is not out. No, it's not. And I will not probably be getting it out this year, just as a heads up. But, there's no snow villages anymore. There's just not as many trees. There's not as many ornaments. Throughout my home, you'll see Christmas, but it's, you will learn once you kind of give yourself permission not to unpack boxes out of the attic for 3 days. It is like a whole new life. I mean, it is just, it's wonderful, So for me, that needed to go. I think for her, she still pulls it all out. It doesn't bother her at all, So I think you have to determine what that is. But if you're like me, use greenery everywhere. Use, and I know this is like a duh moment, but I'm telling you, it makes a difference. Clip them from your yard or your neighbor's yard if you like them and they like you. Don't steal though, because that's wrong. But use things that are around you, and find. And that's the other thing. I'm fickle. I've got to change. I don't want the same color every year, so I'm going to always be, transitioning. And so I have ornaments all over my house. Things are dumped in little bowls, spread all around, and that way it's simple. And whatever it is that I'm doing, and mark my words, I'll say this, and then I'll go to too much effort this Christmas. I'm getting a phone call. But I think that's the main thing. Find that groove in your decorating all year and during your holiday time. I could stand up here today and I could, we could have done like a beautiful tablescape, and I could have given you some tips on that, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But at the same time, as I've sort of been thinking about what's going on in my own world and my own life over the last couple of years, I just, that's not what's on my mind right now and what's on my heart, I've had a difficult last few years, and so I think anytime that happens and you're actually brought to a place of loss or of difficulty, you start to truly realize that everybody's just muddling through this thing called life, and it's fleeting and happening in moments all around us, just like right now. It is passing by, and while I do want to create a beautiful home, and I will put up the tree, and I will do the things, that celebrate, all of those wonderful memories and create magic for my kids and all those things, it is more important to me to find systems, whatever that is, that work for me in my home, that, my home functions for my family, that when they're there, they get me. Not me running around stressed out about what needs to be put up so that they love Christmas. That's not important. It's not, and it's hard to accept that. It's especially if you have like a, Father Christmas as your mother. I mean, what are you going to do with that? So I think though it is truly, truly important to come to places where we recognize that they want us. They want who we are. And however that looks, if that means, that you're the kind of woman who can pull it all off and get it all done and you love it, do it, God bless you for it. But if not, that's okay, So I think it's the same in our homes, in our day-to-day lives. We need to find a way to be present in our moments, with our families. We need to find a way to make the beauty of our home include what's happening in it. And what we do that creates that comfort and that calm and that peace for our families. And I was thinking about my grandmother a lot lately, and probably because she was another Christmas-like legend. She was great at it, and she's been on my mind a lot lately. And so I got to thinking about, if she were here, what would she say to me? How would she want me to approach, the holiday season? Because that's coming up, and we've all got to get started on all of those things, shopping right now. So I wrote you a letter. I wrote you a letter that I think she would write to me, if she were here. Okay, so here we go. Dear wife, mother, grandmother, daughter, or sister, I know it's tempting to be the most put together woman you know, tempting to deck the halls with so many bells and whistles that Santa himself would be impressed. And I also know, despite all appearances, that you're tired. And we are, don't admit it, we all are. You're tired, you're running around from place to place, taking care of everyone around you every day. So I'm giving you permission this holiday season. Resist the temptation take deep breaths and be fully present in the moments. Hang a wreath, put up a tree, cook the Thanksgiving turkey. But if the wreath keeps falling down and the tree is an utter mess and the turkey burns to a crisp, I have something to tell you. It's all gonna be okay. Or the wedding, I got to thinking about that with your wedding. You know, there's so many moments that we miss when we worry about this stuff. And so I encourage you not to. The dinners will still happen. The Christmas lunch will still be there. The to-dos will mostly get done most of the time. But take a minute, take an hour, take 12 to be right where you are. Share a laugh or a recipe or a moment with somebody that means something to you, with the people who love you and that you love. They want you more than they want the beautifully decorated table or the perfectly cooked meal. I promise. They want to be home and they want to be in your home. So happy holidays. Thank y'all for having me today. I appreciate it very much.